Hi everybody, it's Jen from Jen Plans, and I'm going to be walking you through my 2016-2017 Erin Condren LifePlanner. Now that we're totally done for the year, I like to plan on an academic year. I don't know, it makes more sense in my head. Maybe it's because I went straight from being in college to working at a college, and then, after a couple of years, my kids were on an academic calendar. There's just something about starting fresh in late summer, early fall that I really love. So if you're a calendar year person, you're probably in the middle of your planner, but if you're an academic year person, you are just getting started like I am. So I wanted to walk you through my planner from this past year. I used an Erin Condren hourly colorful life planner with a rose gold coil. And I wanted to show you the coil. I had a lot of questions about how the coil held up, and for me, it's been great. I don't think I've had any issues at all. Maybe one little ding on the bottom, and a little bit like back there where I open and close on my kitchen table. But the coil for me has held up really well. And that's how thick it is. I got an 18-month. Now you can buy them 12-month academic year, but I got an 18-month because I always, I use them when the planners are first released in the summer, and then I just don't use the last 6 months of the following year. What I did this time is I left the months. I'll show you when I get to the back, but I left the months in, and then I just took the weekly pages out and glued them together so that I could still use my monthly pages kind of as an overview. But I'll jump right in. So the wet erase, dry erase inside cover I use with only wet erase markers. If you use a dry erase marker, it'll smear or smudge onto the vellum or whatever you have on the next page. I usually keep my sticky notes here. So usually what I use this for is if I'm getting ready to sign the kids up for activities and I need to know like when they start and when they end, I put that information here. I also, like if an email comes through with important dates for the school year or any activity that they're doing, I usually jot it down here, or I put it on a sticky note and put it on the monthly view, and that's kind of how I note things until it's time to actually sit down and plan out my week. But I wiped it clean for the end of the year. This, I think, was maybe the one I used most recently, so it was sticking in there. Of course, the vellum cover, this was signed by some friends at Go Wild in New Orleans last year, so I kept that in there. I love having that every year. This, I have 3 kids, but only one of them was here because I meant to do the other 2 and then I just didn't. So if you have multiple children, hopefully you are more equally distributive of the pictures of your children. But for me, it was just my middle guy that made it in there. I kept meaning to do that. I kind of feel bad. Poor kid. I hope my other ones aren't watching. Sorry, kids. This is probably one of my most used spreads. Once I figured out exactly how I was going to use it, I never went back. I think the idea came from Happy Place Planning from Jennifer Crowder. But she uses this, and so I stole her idea to mark the school calendar, which I think is so smart. So I do this for my kiddos. So pink is no school, yellow is early dismissal, which I don't think they had any this year. Green is a school program. Blue is the first and last day of the term. So there are a couple places where, everything kind of makes sense, except there are a few places like here in February, there's a little dot that I put there. That is because that day of no school is an inclement weather makeup day. So like, instead of tacking on days at the end of the year, they just schedule days for no school. And then if you have bad weather, like over winter time, then they just make that a school day instead of a no school day. So I always put little dots there because I didn't want to plan anything for that weekend, for a long weekend to be away, and then have inclement weather, and all of a sudden we have school, and then it has to be an absence. So that's what my little system looks like. But I just love it because whenever I'm planning out my month, and then when I go to my weeks, it's just so nice to have their entire school calendar already here. And then of course I can add it in for the first term of the following year, which I love so much. So this is my year at a glance. My first July, you're always so ambitious. In the beginning, I had like this grand idea to do all these pictures, which was really great for July. I don't think it happened the entire rest of the year. But these were all the cool things that happened in July. I really would like to start to get back to doing that. But I usually use this notes page for, like, the first part is usually like my to-do list and projects for the whole month instead of rewriting them over and over and over, even though I still do that sometimes too. And then gifts, and then school prep. So it kind of changes based on the time of year. Like the holiday time, it'll be like, you know, Christmas cards and decorations. But I like having this space as kind of a flex space for my kind of bigger overall master list. And then we went right into July. I usually use the top part for my kids' memory, well, this one I don't think I did. I think maybe I started it in September. For my kids' memory verses from church, they each have, every month they have a verse that they focus on. And so I always write it in my planner so that I can talk about it with them and kind of, you know, be in tune with the things that they're learning in their little Sunday school classes too. And then I use my monthly layout as a calendar overview because I just like to see everything all in one place. And then I use my sidebar for birthdays and anniversaries. And these aren't people that I like always send a card or a gift to, but I do like to wish all these people a happy birthday or a happy anniversary. And I keep a little perpetual calendar usually in the back of my planner, although I moved it from this one to my next one, so I don't have it, but I'll show you where I usually keep it. And then every month is kind of the same. It's general calendar overview, birthdays and anniversaries. This one last year was our 11th wedding anniversary, so I put a little picture in there too. But I love having this because I can see, not only can I see what's coming up for the month, but I love going back and seeing like, okay, when was the last dentist appointment? When did I go to the doctor? When did I have my last haircut? Because, I don't know, you kind of lose that sometimes in digital form, or you have to search for it, or you can't remember exactly what you put it under. So I love having it all in paper so that I can look back. October, we had just a lot of travel, which we kind of always do because we live far away from where we're both from. We are in Georgia and our families are both, for the most part, in Illinois, at least our parents. So this is November, December notes page. See, this kind of changed to Christmas. Oh, that's nice. I didn't notice that before. I think someone maybe snuck in to my planner. My children did that. December, January. Thanks, buddy. February, March. And I usually like to do, hold on, buddy. I usually like to do washi or stickers for either when we're traveling or when my husband is traveling. So like this weekend we were in New Jersey. I just am so visual that I like to see it all marked off. And then this one, my husband was traveling. So that's March. And then April, of course, was Go Wild. And then my mom was here, spring break, and just, you know, her normal stuff. I don't like to get too set into color schemes because I feel like then what if I don't have a sticker and then it stresses me out and it doesn't match. So I usually try to do like 2 or 3 colors and then other colors that are like pretty similar that don't really stress me out if they don't match exactly. May. So these are all kind of the same. Tons of just so much travel. There's so much travel. And then June, and this is pretty much it. My daughter put her birthday in there. So that was it for the monthly. And then, let's see, we'll skip ahead to the notes and then I'll go through and do the weekly flip through. My notes pages were underutilized this year, which is something that I really want to get better about this year. I didn't use either of these two. This one I used for house projects, which I love having all in one place. So I can kind of see, you know, you always kind of think in your head like, oh, I need to do this in the kids' room, and oh, I need to go through this closet. I just keep everything here so that I can see like this is first floor, second floor, and then outside. You know, there's just always stuff that pops up on the list. So I like keeping it there. This is, I sacrificed a page for a pen test. I think I did this video last summer when I got all the pens and I got the planner in. So yeah, pal. Okay, hold on just a minute. This is my monthly tasks page. Yep, I'll get them for you in a minute, bud. I like to note everything that I need to do either once a month or like semi-annually because I just always forget. I mean, some of it I don't forget. Like I don't forget to clean out my fridge, but sometimes I forget to change, like if it's not written down, I will forget to change my contacts every month. So that kind of stuff I keep in a notes page. And then these I did not use. Isn't that sad? So I need to use these more next year. That's one of my goals. And then I didn't use this at all Probably because I don't know of anything huge going on in 2018 yet. Last year we knew of some stuff happening this year, so I used it last year, but this year we don't have any really major stuff going on. And of course the stickers in the back, which I used, I would say a lot of. I use my little folder for sticker storage for the stickers that I use like pretty regularly. Some of these I made, some of these are ones that I bought, and then some are, you know, like my more frequently used. And then I keep like, you know, my kids' soccer schedule back here, and their karate schedule, just so that I can reference it easily if I need to. And then in the back pocket, I just have, this is where I keep some pictures that my kids made, but I also keep save the dates and invitations back here, and then I keep my perpetual calendar in here, which I use in the monthly spread. Okay, so now we'll go back through the weeks, and that'll be pretty much it for the planner. This is kind of a rough start to the beginning. This is our week that we spent in Paris for my cousin's wedding. My kids were all in her wedding party, which was probably one of the most amazing things we've ever done. So this was clearly, I don't even know. I think I brought my planner just for a photo op, but I did not use it while we were there. We just kind of followed the wedding program and then explored kind of on our own. And then this is the week we got back. So this is the first week in the planner. Like I said, kind of with my monthly layout, I don't really, usually what I do is I'll pick either like kind of a general theme, or I'll pick my tape first, and then I'll kind of coordinate all my stickers with the tape or with the theme. So that's easier to me than doing all the stickers and then finding a tape that matches everything. And I don't know, I kind of, sometimes it's based on like the season, and sometimes it's just what kind of like what I want to do. So that's pretty much how I choose how to decorate. Like this one was my daughter's party, so I wanted everything to be pink, and then I used my Polaroid zip, which I love using. If you ever have problems with the brightness of the pictures, edit them like in your phone's photo editing app. They look a little dark in the video. And then you can just brighten them there before you put them into the zip printer. Sometimes I get through the first half really well, and then the last half is like blah. But that was summer, so it kind of makes sense. So this was the following week. This is kind of getting toward the end of July now. And I do the same thing when we have something that spans over multiple days. I put washi tape for that too, and that usually helps me. Again, kind of a flex notes page for the monthly. This one was August. I had to sign up for a bunch of activities. I had to, you see some of the stuff I still haven't filmed yet. This is my film list from 1 year ago. Gifts that I need to get for people, and then school prep. And then for August, I think I totally just skipped that week. The first week of school. So of course that was kind of like a school theme. Loose themes. I mean, I'm not, you know, I'm definitely not a no white space planner. I don't know, I need to see more space than that. For me personally, although I know a lot of people love that and they're always so beautiful, it's just not the way my brain works best when I look at my planner. I like having little checklists on the side. I don't do a ton of habit trackers, but I do for my kids' backpacks every day, because otherwise it's like, you know, the next morning and you're like, why didn't, you know, now they're old enough to do it themselves, but last year my little ones really weren't. So these are all just my weeks from the beginning of the school year. I think we were so busy that I just didn't do that. I skipped for some of them. Oops. September was like a crazy busy month for us. I think I just went down to bare bones and used stickers in my pen, and that was pretty much it. Same with this week. There were some weeks that just didn't happen besides the bare minimum. And then fall, which is my favorite time of year. Honey, plug it back in, babe. Just plug it back in. Take it up or turn it up a little bit. Okay. And then of course more fall, which is my favorite time of year. October, another month that I miss the monthly notes page. You know, monthly's kind of all the same. And then more fall. Favorite. This is the week we went to Chicago. Lots of travel. I love marking off days that I know we're going to be on the road. We do a lot of driving in our family. You know what? I think I need to do like a driving. Maybe I'll do like a travel vlog for next time we take a trip. Because, you know, we've done it enough now that I feel like we kind of have our little things that work for our family that might you know, possibly be helpful to other people who are traveling with little kids. And that was the rest of October. If there's something going on kind of for the whole week, I like to put it up here. Like this was Red Ribbon Week. And I also, I don't think I mentioned this before, but I put little flags or teardrops sometimes with numbers. These are almost always countdowns to the, like, so I do 3 countdowns a year. Starting in the fall, I do a countdown to winter break. So this is like 10 weeks till winter break. And then once the new year happens, I count down to summer vacation. And then once summer vacation starts, I count down to the next school year. So it helps me kind of like see in my brain, like where we are in the year. I really like seeing that. So this is the rest of October. Again, I did not do that. November was, you know, more travel. I was kind of getting into the holiday season. I was really good about the bowl full of lemons challenge for 1, 2, 3 days. Check, check, check. No checks. And then I kind of stopped doing it after that. Oops. And that's how most people are. I was really good for the first 3 days, and then I was just not good. This was, you know, another low maintenance week. Another trip. Oh, this was, okay, so we traveled for Thanksgiving. Just all the stuff that we need to do before we leave for these big trips. And then, you know, usually when we go back to Chicago, sometimes I don't take my planner because either our plans are already set, and I know I'm not going to be making any future plans. I just usually bring a notebook. Sometimes I'll bring my planner, but usually just a notebook if I need to jot things down. There we go. Got back into it there. You know, of course, the holiday season for our family, Christmas is always like a crazy, crazy, crazy time of year. Winter planner land, that was fun. And then we get into like the actual, like wrapping up the end of the first term of the school year. And then nothing. Then it was a week of Christmas and everybody just kind of plopped over on the couch for like a week straight. And then we had family in town, so I don't even think I looked at it. But I love getting a new start for the new year, so I think I started. Okay, well then you might need to turn it up, babe.
I did it all the way up.
Okay, well then maybe try something else or restart it. And then the new year, home projects, stuff I had to do for some of my groups. And then of course a to-do list. And then we hopped into the new year, and this is really kind of halfway through the planner. Same thing, I just, you know, pick washi tape and then I use stickers that kind of coordinate with those colors so I don't get too stressed about whether or not colors totally match. In terms of sources for stickers, I would say I usually, most of the time, I'm using a combination of Chrissy Ann Designs, which is probably definitely my most used and favorite shop in terms of sticker sellers. And then I also use Erin Condren stickers a ton. I love that they've been coming out with more kind of accessories for the planners. And then I make a lot of my own stickers. And then the rest are either from racks or from meetups that, you know, these awesome, awesome shops donate to. I love using those as well. So this is kind of through January. Oh, I tried a little bit there, and again, I missed the notes page. It doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to work for you. And my planning style kind of changes based on how busy things are. This is more through February. If there's something going on for the day that I need to remember, I either put it here or up here. I think I watched a video where Emily Lay said that she, at the top of her, she uses daily, but at the top of her daily planner, she calls it like her space for headlines, like the headline of the day. I think that's a really good way to describe it. So this is kind of where I put like my headlines for the day, like school pictures for my kids so that I know what's going on. And then, you know, some weeks are like you super plan the first half and then you just kind of, you know, don't the rest of it. And then you have weeks like this. And it's okay to have all of them throughout your planner because, you know, that's just how life works. Oh man, I really need to use those more. Sometimes there's either not a lot going on or I just don't have time to do it. So this is kind of getting toward spring break and like, you know, gearing up toward the end of the school year. Again, you know, we had so much more travel than we usually do. And my husband is starting to travel a lot more for work again, which he used to do, and then he kind of took a break from, and now he's doing again. This was actually a really nice way to, I really enjoyed planning this way. I love my stickers and washi tape, and I don't think I'll ever stop doing that, but if I need a different way to do it that's faster, I've been really loving the Erin Condren dual tip markers. They do bold for things that are like at set specific times, and then the thinner tip for like the smaller details or things that are lists or things that don't have to happen at a very specific time. This was kind of the beginning of spring. Oh, here we go. Things to do outside. So this bottom part of my notes, my monthly notes section kind of changes. This is, you know, spring cleaning outside, getting the outside of our home ready. And then April, of course, was consumed with Go Wild. I think I didn't really, some weeks it happens, some weeks it doesn't. Easter. This is Go Wild. I love this. It was so much more fun than what the planner looks like. I didn't do the planner because I was having too much fun. And then this is the week we got back, and we really only had a couple more weeks of school after this. So I had, you know, home projects, and just other lists that I needed to keep track of. Sometimes I use these for like things I need to buy, and then I can take it with me to the store. This was the end of May. This is the last month of school. You know, sometimes it's just a sticky note kind of week, which was for me, and also the following week. This was crazy. We went to Florida, and then 2 weeks later we went to Chicago, or no, where did we go? Texas. Oh, this was Chrissy Ann Designs Week. This is CAD Week. I love using these little pictures. This one was from my cousin's wedding in Florida. I loved. I transfer a lot of things from week to week in my to-do sidebar, and this is kind of how I break it up. I do have my to-do list up here for the school year backpack checklist, which I made these. I just combined a backpack logo with a flag and then put boxes in. You could use any habit sticker for that. I just like having a backpack there. And then to go and to contact. I really, really like seeing my lists segmented out. So I know that it, like, if I have a chunk of time when I can go and run errands, I don't have to search like, okay, I have to go here, I have to go here, and then, oh, I have to go here. I just have it all in one place so that I can see exactly what I need to do. That has been a huge help for me, and it's worked for such a long time. I think I've kind of always been doing it that way. This is our week in Houston, well, leading into the week in Houston, which was so much fun. And then, you know, more lists. And that's pretty much it. Then we went into the last week of the year, and it was mostly sticky notes, and then I just went straight to the pen because I don't know why, for some reason, for the last few weeks of the year when I know that I'm about to move into a new planner, I kind of reserve my stickers. So this is it. These were the dual tip Erin Condren markers. So I'll tag some of my sources in the comments below. This is the last week. This is our trip to Chicago. I think this is my last week in the planner. I pretty much gave up at this point. But I love having it. I love saving them so that I can always look back. And then, you know, the rest are just kind of like glued together monthly. I didn't even use the rest of these because I think I had my new planner by this point. But that's it. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the flip through. Talk to you later. Bye.